Hello, Saints. We're in the book of Galatians, and we're down here at the beginning of chapter 4. Last time we talked about the pedagogos, and when I was given that explanation, the pedagogos as one who was like a guardian or helped to manage the heir of the property, I didn't say that often this was a slave. And the reason why I didn't right away is I don't want you to confuse pedagogos with a slave. It doesn't have to be a slave. Actually, because he guides, he tutors, it says, the word pedagogos is usually used, or the form of it, to describe the art of or practice of teaching. So that's what we want to kind of get out of what the pedagogos is, more than being a slave. In chapter 4, he continues on with the effects of the pedagogos on the child, on the heir, and he enlarges on that in the description of describing what's called sonship in Christ. In verse 1 in chapter 4, it begins, "Now I say, as long as the heir is a child, he doesn't differ at all from a slave, although he is owner of everything." Now, that's important to understand. He's in the control of like a babysitter or something. Anybody in a rich family or a prince has tutors and teachers and things that they have to obey. They're expected to from the parents. So while you're a child, as a child, heir to the kingdom still, he says there's no difference between that position you're in and that of a slave. He says, but, being a slave, he says, but he's under a guardian or managers until the date set by the father. So he's not a slave permanently, it's not for life. And verse 3 picks up then, so also we, now he's making the comparison back to people of God. So also we, while we were children, we were held in bondage under the elemental things of the world. But when the fullness of the time came, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, so that he might redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption as sons. And let me add again, sons and daughters. Because you are sons, God has set forth the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying, Abba, Father. Therefore, and this is the takeaway, you're no longer a slave, but a son, and if a son, an heir through God. This is how we come into sonship with God. We talk about it being a relationship with God, in a relationship with Christ, and some people frown on that. They think it's too ephemeral, not really deep in our connection with God. How do you have a friendship with God who's so much above us? So, it's not like you have a friendship with one of your peers. It's not horizontal. Our relationship is vertical. But it is described simply as that. We are sons and daughters of God. And it is actually being in relationship to God that makes us heirs to the kingdom. Because you are sons, because we are sons. Think of it that way. God has sent forth the Spirit of his Son in our hearts. So it's not what we generate, it's what's been generated through God as we receive Christ in our life, actually within us, that seed in us that transforms, not just saves us, but makes us new people. You see, without that, we might be able to modify our behavior regarding a lot of things. But really, that's all that is modified behavior. Only he in our life can actually do a transformation, to change something that is so fundamental and basic about ourselves, that is sinners. He can actually transform that. So this is very important for us to see the effects of what happened when Jesus came. Remember, when he came, the law was fading away. I didn't say going away. The law had been written on stone, stuck in a box. But now that he has come, it's faith and the law not being in a box anymore, but written on our hearts. And written on our hearts, we become sons and daughters of God. We're going to pick up on that next time when we talk about when we were slaves. Blessings.